Today I'm sharing with you the exact Mixbus chain that helps our strings cut through the heaviest of metal. As example, I'm going to use my Scream 4 parking garage scene RESCORE, which you can find here, and I'm going to break through my process for the Mixbus plugin by plugin. First, let's check real quick how it sounds like. Alright, this is the ending of the scene. Let's concentrate on this part and on the strings. First thing I have on my Mixbus is a compressor. The goal here is to have all the string instruments glued a bit more together. Here are the exact settings I'm using. I'm using a low ratio of 2:1. We're going to compress just a bit more after this compressor. I'm going to activate the plugin back and forth so you can hear what it does. Just 5 decibels of gain reduction on the highest peaks. Then I'm compressing a bit more, but this time it's going to be with a multiband compressor. It really helps on the Mixbus since the strings occupy a lot of different places in the frequency spectrum. Sometimes I have some cellos and some violins playing at the same time, so we are not completely on the same range. So the goal here was to tame the lowest register, which was sometimes a bit too much, and also controlling the higher register of the violins on some parts. It's really here to help consistency in the whole spectrum of the strings. Here I use JST Maximizer for a few things. I added a bit of saturation, also used it to tame a bit of transient, and also to adjust a bit of bass enhancement. And make the strings a bit more consistent since they have to compete with the metal section. Then I use Pro Q3 with a bit of dynamic EQ. It's here to help with some frequencies which I think were picking a bit much through the mix. It really helps to keep the balance with the metal riffs we have underneath that. And speaking of metal riffs, oh wait, yes. I also use the gain plugin just for volume automation for some parts during the scene. And speaking of competing with the metal, the difficulty here is that I wanted the strings to really shine to the mix while retaining some clarity with the guitars, which are super low and also super distorted. And in the last breakdown, to keep that clarity on the guitar, I use TrackSpacer on the strings. So I'm sidechaining the plugin with the guitars, and what it does is that it's going to lower the volume on the frequencies the guitar play on the strings. You can hear when the plugin is off, the strings really take the upper hand. It's also good to mention that I'm using the mid-side function on the plugin. That way I can just sidechain the sides of the strings and not the middle. And speaking of the middle, in this whole ending part, I think the drums were a bit buried beneath everything. So TrackSpacer helped make some space for the drums. Like you can really hear what it does if I crank the amount ratio. I don't need the effect to be that obvious, but you can do some cool stuff if you want to with that plugin. Alright, let's go back to the whole scene we heard at the beginning, and this time I'm going to activate and deactivate my Mixbus processing so you can hear what it does in the full context of the mix. I hope you enjoyed this quick Mixbus breakdown. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more production tips. If your tracks need some production, mixing or mastering, you can hit me up in the link below at tbsounds.com. You can check this video if you're curious about this rescore of Screamforce parking garage scene, or go over there if you want more production tips. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time.